In businesses all over the world, there's a security risk that's hiding in plain sight. In fact, it's probably in your employees' pockets right now. Today, we're going to dig into the hidden dangers of unmanaged personal devices, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. It always starts out so innocently, doesn't it? Letting your team use their own phones, their own laptops, it just seems like a total win-win. I mean, there's no new hardware to buy, and everybody can stay productive wherever they are. It feels like a super smart shortcut. But is it really? Because what's actually happening, kind of quietly in the background, is that your business data, your access to critical systems, and yeah, all the risk that comes with it, has spread onto devices you don't own. And here's the kicker, you can't control. And the wild thing is, most businesses never formally decide to do this. It's hardly ever a conscious choice. It just happens. You know, a team member adds their work email to their personal phone. Someone else logs into a cloud app from their home laptop. Just small, logical, everyday actions, all driven by convenience, that start this slow creep of risk across the entire company. And look, let's be absolutely crystal clear here. The problem isn't that people are getting work done. That's great. The real issue is the giant blind spot this creates. The second your company's data starts living on personal hardware, you lose all visibility. You don't know where it is anymore. So this is where that convenience starts to get really costly. We tend to think of compliance as a problem for, big banks or giant corporations. But the truth is, these rules apply to almost every single business out there. Let's see how. Okay, so here's the point you absolutely have to get. If you have customer invoices, contact lists, even just simple email chains, you are legally on the hook for protecting that information. And if a data leak happens on an employee's personal phone, that responsibility still lands right on the business's doorstep. And this is where it gets really hairy, because these risks just pile on top of each other. Think about it. When staff leave, their access often just lingers on their old phones. A lost device isn't just a lost phone. It's a potential open door with saved passwords ready to go. And without any management tools, you have exactly zero ability to remotely wipe that sensitive business data. It's completely and totally out of your hands. This scenario just makes the risk so incredibly real. We're not talking about some sophisticated cyber attack here. It's just a simple, everyday moment. A kid taps allow on a weird pop-up, and boom, suddenly malware has a backdoor into a device that's connected to your company's email, your files, your apps. One careless tap can compromise your entire business. Okay, so all of this brings us to the very heart of the problem. There's one question that really highlights this massive blind spot, and I really want you to take a second and think about this for your own business. No, seriously, take a moment. Could you, right now, name every single phone, every tablet, every personal laptop that can get into your company's information? For most business owners, the honest and frankly terrifying answer is no, not a chance. And that right there is the danger. If you can't even name the devices, you certainly can't control them. You're essentially flying blind, just hoping that nothing goes wrong. And let's be honest, hope is not a security strategy. It's just guesswork. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay in the dark. There are clear, established paths to get this whole situation under control and trade that guesswork for some genuine visibility. Let's take a look at the three main strategies. Okay, let's break this down real quick. First, you've got BYOD, or bring your own device. This is the default for most companies, and it absolutely requires tight rules and management tools to have any hope of being safe. Then there's COPE. That's company-owned, personally enabled. Here, the business owns the device, which gives it control, but staff can still use it for some personal things. It's a really great middle ground. And finally, you have fully managed devices, owned and locked down by the business. This is the simplest and lowest risk option you can choose from a compliance standpoint. So knowing the options is great. But where do you actually start? The key isn't to make some huge disruptive change overnight. It's all about taking one small practical step toward getting visibility and control back. And just remember, this is not about being the villain who takes away everyone's flexibility. The goal is super simple. Know which devices can touch your data and have the ability to manage that access. It's about smart management, not a total ban. So here it is, your immediate action plan, something you can do today. First, just identify the top 3 ways your team connects to work when they're not in the office. Is it email on their phones, a cloud drive, some specific app? Okay, step 2, ask yourself this very blunt question. If you had to, could you cut off that access right now in the next 5 minutes? If the answer is no, or even a hesitant, I'm not sure, then it's time to act. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Is your business's biggest risk hiding in plain sight? That phone in your employee's pocket might seem like a shortcut to productivity, but it could actually be your biggest liability. Now that you know the risks, what are you going to do about it?